Mm-mm-mm. I have to share this Bible study with y'all. Yesterday morning, I woke up about 5 o'clock in the morning and I did this Bible study. I am so appreciative of these red words because they're in red. Y'all know what them red words mean? If you know, you know. If you don't know, you need to know. Okay, so I'm going to start with John 4:9. Jesus and this Samaritan woman. They are at a well and Jesus asked her for a drink of water. She asked him, like, you're a Jew and I'm a Samaritan. How can you ask me for a drink? And he's like, if you knew who I was, then you wouldn't be asking me that question. And when I saw that, what I had wrote down was, we are all one at the end of the day. Like, black, white, Asian, all of that stuff is the same. Young child, older adult, we're all one. Like, we all can learn from each other and whatnot. So when this woman, like, if she knew who she was talking to for real, like, that's Jesus. And because he's not a woman, or he's not a Samaritan, so he's not a Samaritan, and that's a problem. So she can't even recognize who this man is until in verse 42, which I'm gonna jump. She throughout the verse all the way up into 42, this woman, she goes back home and she tell people, like, this man knows who I am, and like, yeah, like he's sent from God, like God sent him. And the people in the village took her word for it, so they went to him and they started to ask him for stuff or whatever it is. You have to read the verse for you to know, but they took her word. These people's faith was risen. Like, it's a muscle. I'm doing this because faith is a muscle, and their faith was risen when she had told them about Jesus. And when they came to Jesus in verse 48 says, unless you people see signs and wonders, you will never believe me. You will never believe. So unless you people see signs and wonders, you will never believe. He letting us know, like, these are in red letters, which really, like, this sat me up. This made me pull out this notebook. This made me pull out my highlighters, and this made me dissect this verse. So unless you people see signs and wonders, you will never believe. That is not changing. It's not changing. It's not changing. It hasn't changed with me. It hasn't changed with anyone. Like, we have to see it to believe it. Let's talk about why environment and upbringing and just being able to go out and experience life. If you're inside of a circumstance or a situation where everything is totally the same, you have to exit that environment so that you can grow your faith, like build your faith muscle. Back then I read my Bible and I grew up knowing the word. That was my faith being built. Like, growing up in the church and everything, I took bits and pieces of the word that benefited me and applied them. I started to see this was true, and that's how I became a believer. It did not happen without me seeing something or me recognizing something. So then Jesus calls us out as a whole. Seeing signs and wonders help us believe. Going out and experiencing helps us believe. So then I wrote down thought. The question has been on my mind to ask people who know me, what do they think happened? Don't confuse it with age. Don't confuse it with experience. Something must have happened for me to be the way that I am, because I have changed. I am bold. I act boldly. Like, what happened? What happened to me? I saw it. I seen the truth. I believe, right? So then let's go back to John 4:34 through 38 about sowing and reaping. Ooh, this part right here, the whole chapter 4. Go study it if you can. But inside John 4:38, it's about sowing and reaping. So John 4:35, don't you have a saying? This is in red letters. I could tell you exactly where it's at. Don't you have a saying, it's still 4 months until harvest? I tell you, open your eyes and look at the fields. They are ripe for harvest. Even now, the one who reaps draws a wage and harvests a crop for eternal life, so that the sower and the reaper may be glad together. People who take risks, people who take chances. Just think of a green banana, right? I'm not eating no green banana. Like, it's still ripe. It's not ready. For what I know, all I've known all my life is that a yellow banana is what we eat, not a green banana. So there is a person who goes out and they take risks. They go out and they eat that green banana, and they're blessed off of the strength that God, it loves their faith that they did it, so they have the protection of God from eating that green banana. But then the people who saw them eat that banana, who would never have ate a green banana, also has they're a witness. So they share together this opportunity of being glad, right? So I said, even now, the one who reaps draws a wage of harvest and a crop for the eternal life, so that the sower. So in John 4:38, reaping what you have not worked for. And I put in parentheses, ancestors, coaches, guardians, mentors, a believing environment. Like, a believing environment will raise your faith. They have done the hard work. They have done the work that you have not done, that you don't have to do. But guess what? It also is written in red letters that you reap the benefits of their labor. So let's talk about childhood. Likely or unlikely upbringing, it made you who you are. It made you who you are. This is a very, very good chapter. And it's very encouraging and very inspiring to get around risk takers. Be a risk taker. A person who faith muscle is being built, or going to, just like going to the gym, believing in yourself, going to see it to believe it, because it's already written that we have to see it to believe it. That's confirmation. That's comfort. That's peace, to know that, like, you're not crazy, but you have to change your environment. You have to do something different so that you can understand what's all this commotion about. What's going on there? Like, while I'm over here feeling this way, y'all feeling that way. Go read John 4. It's good. Feel it. Go feel it.